What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, here with another edition of Traditional Fans with Opinions, where I'll give my reviews for whoever I watched, read, or played today. And who are Traditional Fans with Opinions? That is myself, and that is you, the viewers. With all that being said, on with the reviews. Fire Force Season 3, Episode 21. So in this episode, this deals with the rematch between Arthur and Dragon, and it's freaking insane. So like Dragon, like with his power, he like basically creates a bunch of volcanoes around the area and just destroys a bunch of stuff. So like the world's like about to be destroyed. Basically, if Arthur loses, the world is definitely done because of like Dragon's despair. That's helping the Great Cataclysm is so great. So you see the fight, like it gets big, like they're fighting across like all over the area, and Dragon eventually takes the fight to the moon. Arthur has trouble breathing until he puts on this like until he puts on the rain that you made and allows him to breathe. It is funny. It makes it look like a video. They make it look like it's like an old, like a retro video game, like thing. The way they show some text, and you have like a narrator narrating the fight. But dude, like it is freaking insane. So yes, I mean it's big, like the fight, like it gets big. Like Arthur is able to win. He and like basically in Dragon's last moments before he dies, he tells Arthur that he was able to feel some hope at the end, and so Dragon dies. And you do see some of Dragon's backstory. See how he basically, I guess, been around for 250 years before being recruited to the White Clad. And you see Arthur's parents. So his father had like, when he had been looking up into the hat and seeing the stars, he ended up what he was seeing was Arthur's future. And so yeah, and so Arthur basically he like his bomb had like he's basically kind of almost like Darth Maul, where Darth Maul lost his legs and torso, whatever. And so Arthur dies. It seems like he closes his eyes, says he's going to leave the rest to Shinra, and the episode ends with Shinra waking up, setting up the final fight. Which, having read the manga, I mean, there's the last few chapters I've not read, but I did read the chapter of this fight, and it was freaking awesome. The manga. So, do like when he like cuts the Earth in half, being empowered by the hope of everyone on Earth. It's like, what the frick? Like, it's freaking insane. Like, I thought it was a great episode. It's funny how it's like how Dragon Archer. One of the reasons they explain how they're able to, is that basically they're kind of too focused on fighting to care about physics. I was like, what the frick? The star ring was freaking like it was funny. The star ring even like comes in to help like Arthur win. And so Arthur says that he's fully become the Night King, and so now like it's Shinra's turn to be a hero. Like, dude, holy frick! And so yeah, like it was like basically like Arthur's gone, and now all it's left is for I mean basically a bunch of crap's about to happen. Like so yeah, it's gonna be like insane what happens. But yeah, I thought this was a great episode. Looking forward to the next one. The Hunt Party, Season 2, Episode 6. So in this episode, the serial killer, the team something this time is named Lou Kaplan. So he was called the Selfie Slayer. So Basically, he helped found start a company called SnapMax, a social media company. It was meant to basically help people connect, but it basically turned you kind of like how TikTok and Instagram are, where you have like, basically a bunch of retards doing stuff. Like, I mean, you have, some like, people doing the whole like, you have some that are just being retarded, some that are like, doing the like trying to act like they like. I think there was one who was like a baking influencer, but didn't know how to cook, but acted like she knew how to cook. Then you had like one guy who was like a workout like influencer or whatever, but was like using steroids and claiming it was all that like just through hard work. And so, and yeah, there's like issues. So so Lazarus tells the team that Noah Cyrus was killed. When the convoy was attacked, and then yeah, so and yeah, so Lazarus says basically no screw ups this time, and basically Bex suspects that Lazarus was involved with the with the with the attack because apparently the route was like the convoy's route was redirected, so it wasn't even going where it was supposed to. So what's interesting with the selfie slayer is that his motivation. So he believed that stuff like TikTok, Instagram, basically was turning people to like it was screwing up society and like basically turning people to like disingenuous, like basically to fake people. And so like it's like so and like basically like he like so there's actually an interesting thing there with yeah, so yeah, so it was interesting how it went because it's like, well, I hate his methods. Obviously, the guy was murdering people. That is inexcusable, regardless. Was he correct saying social media was bad and how it was like, and how social media, the way society's been affected by it, like how it is? Well, yes. I mean, yes. If when people are not careful, it can really mess with people. Like when they're not careful, like people do need to. I would, for me, it's like people just need to have lives outside of social media, the internet, all that. Like if they have it, they should at least have a life outside of it to help with their like mental health or whatever. And like, yeah, and yeah, so and then yeah, so Hassani, like I think it was funny. So Hassani says he doesn't let his kids have social media, so he didn't really know much about what he doesn't have social media. He doesn't let his kids have it. I kind of respect it. I mean, like, I mean, I have my opinions about you know social media is going like when people should be allowed to do it. I'm not a parent, so I'm not gonna say, and I do think that should be up to the parents as far as kids are concerned. Like that should be parents that make that decision. And so like Lou like was like he targeted like the cooking one and like the workout one. He targeted this one who was like one episode starts with her like is hit with him like pushing some like annoying coffee influencer like so say she's like, oh look at my look at that, I just check out this cutest coffee shop. I'm like, and she's like, and she was asking the guy at the, he's like, oh, can you make a heart? No, wait, a star. Like, and make the phone. The guy's like, um, all I can do is a swirl. They don't teach us how to do all of that. I mean, I'm like, lady, I'm like, you're paying like, I don't know, 20, 30 bucks whatever for that coffee. I mean, don't freaking, like, like, I mean, everyone hurries to pay 20, 30 bucks. Don't waste everyone's time by making these weird requests. I mean, just order online if you're gonna do all that. If a coffee shop has online orders, which they should, because I think every like restaurant type place should have one. Anyway, but yeah, so they're all so the team's hunting the killer, and so it's revealed that how he got his victims when getting out. So he's become more connected to like how they feel, he's trying to get more to like how like his victims feel and stuff. More I guess to how to pick out it, how to plan, how to handle it. Because so basically he was given some empathy drug while in the pit. I honestly don't know how a drug makes someone more feel more empathy. I honestly don't know how that's the case. I mean, I honestly don't know. Like, how do drugs deal with that? Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, so Lou, like how he does, he creates a influencer type AI. Now he says all the stuff, but he has an AI with some lady called Misconception, a little on the nose, and so would schedule collabs with these people, and that's how he would target them. And that, and yeah, at least for the gym guy and the baker chick. Now the coffee chick, no, he just puts her in front of traffic. And now, unlike most serial killers, he didn't have like specific, you know, killing style like how he did. Because a lot of serial killers they have like certain styles how they, like what they do to the victims, like how they like where they like how they kill like where they make the cuts, do all the weird crap they're gonna do. Like he's basically just random ways of how to. It's very random, and so eventually he targets his old business partner. You know, yeah, so so a play on misconception. So misconfection, whatever the name. And so dude, the app, and then so he's able to hack into like the team servers, dude, when they try to hack the AI. So it's actually kind of creative how they do it. And now the AI like fries up, but so Morales is able to with help from like it's with help from from Peck, like who's basically like her boss, where like Peck basically was trying to upgrade the servers. The old servers are still there because they throw them away because there's some intel on them. So they have them, so they're able to get the old servers, they're able to hook things back up, and they're able to deal with the issues. And so yeah, and then basically you see basically they're like flirting the entire time. Basically the end of the episode, like Peck basically is nervous about where he's gonna ask her out. And Morales says they could sell things over drinks. Yeah, and so and that's seems to be a buyer thing. So because Peg was hers because he's her boss, so obviously so that can be a that can cause problems, especially in the government. And so yeah, so it's interesting. So like yeah, and so so Lou like he targets the CEO like basically like he had to see who like basically had I guess was trying to start a work with Lou and like wanted I guess had an affair with one of the other co-founders, and basically like and Lou would impersonate the co-founder in order to like get to real and wore a mask or to infiltrate her house. So the CEO basically she like had she was wanting to get rich. Like basically positive online community doesn't I guess sell well, but outrage I guess it was holding basically like rage bait or whatever. Um people being like retard basically like I guess retardation and anger I guess in like her eyes sold more. Which I mean, look, in real life, oh, retardation definitely. So I mean, look, there's a reason America's Funniest Home Videos is as popular as was as popular as it is. You know, True TV. With world's dumbest, top funniest. Whatever, like basically like there's a reason those are popular. A lot of it's just people being retards. I mean, and we all laugh at it. It's like listen, SpongeBob, the episode where SpongeBob's like to entertain kids, and he's able to get them to laugh by basically by him being in pain. That's essentially what it is. Yes, yeah, we would laugh at funny stuff, at people being idiots. Like I mean, that's why Hanna Barbera got because you had like a lot of your classic old cartoons. You get a lot of it's driven by people being idiots. As far as outrage, I mean, so yes, there are a lot of really good outrage videos. Like basically, like the one like some because they're funny, like with how what they say with their in their anger. Because some stuff is really funny. Like there are your YouTubers I watch. Some of them do get angry at some stuff they say, and they're very a lot of the ones I like. They're very clear and they're very entertaining. I mean, when some they're funny too, they actually know what they're talking about, even though they're angry. Like, yes, there's some people out there that let their anger get them, and they just come across as idiots. But there's those that that are angry, very obviously, but they know what they're talking about. I've because I mean, I'm the kind of guy that's like, look, good content, whether the guy's angry, whether it's funny, whether it's not, whatever. Like, good content's good content. And yeah, outrage because like that's how some things go viral is outrage due to whatever someone says while pissed off. And I guess like having people like decide like choose sides regarding something. I guess that's what to get to engagement farming, whatever. And it's whatever. And then the CEO like resigns. I guess because she doesn't want to get caught. Like, she doesn't want to get caught with anything like potential legal problems. Like she even holds a gun and pointing at Lou, and the team's like has to talk her down. Like, hey, put down the gun, because she's like pointing to agents, like because she wants to tape a record of her saying why she did what she did with the company. And look, here's what I say. I think regardless of any of their goals, I think inevitably could have ended up like Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Because look, it's a social media app. You have a variety of things. Some people are gonna do dumb stuff. Some people are gonna do rage bait. That's just how it is. Like inevitably, what's gonna happen? It's not like LinkedIn, where LinkedIn, is for like applying for jobs and stuff. You know, that is a very specific function. Yeah, you have connections and stuff, but its function is regards largely to like job applications. Whereas other ones, no, it is about interacting with people, posting crap and whatever. So it's a very different type of like it's like LinkedIn's a very different type of site because it's very business focused. The rest are not. The rest are very just have a more social thing, so you get more variety of stuff, and that's just how it is. So where the Lou thought he was gonna do with Snapmax, look, it was eventually gonna turn into that, regardless of anyone's goals. So maybe someone, yeah, had adjusted the algorithm to unnaturally, you know, push some things. Well, probably maybe shall ban some other stuff. That's a whole different discussion. But inevitably, it was gonna like something like that. Like there was gonna be a lot of stuff like it with. I'm of the opinion that users should just be able to be allowed to make their own algorithms for it for sites. Just let them make their own so that things pop up that they care about. Like just have to be completely user driven, not the personalized ads nonsense, not the whatever frick else. Anyway, so obviously they capture Lou, and and Lazarus appears outside of Shane's door, saying that they need to talk. So it looks like Lazarus is about to tell Shane about her being his mother. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see his reaction. I thought it was an interesting episode because I mean you had like the villain who you know basically had some like there's some stuff I guess you could agree with him with. His methods definitely not, because the guy was a freaking crazy murderer. Like he was a freaking crazy murderer. Like I mean, you know. So I mean, like yeah, his methods definitely do not agree with. Like there's thing like there's no excuse for murder like that. There's no excuse. But yeah, I thought it was a good episode. Looking for the next one. Rerun Beyond Journey's End, Season 2, Episode 7. So in this episode, you have, Frieren, Fern, Methode, Stark, and Ganal are talking about how they handled the demons. Um, you know, Ganal and Stark stay behind to guard the village, even though no one's there, Ganal is his home, is his like hometown, so like, obviously he wants to protect it. While Frieren, Fern, and Batho go out to find the demons. And so the demon is called Divine Revolt. So it wields four magically like summoned swords. Physics are defied, and basically they're very powerful. And so Gadal, of course, with some of his backstory, you see like he's obviously grieving his past partner who was killed by Revolt. And yeah, so and then there's some interesting. So there's a funny scene where I guess Methode likes to give head paths to I guess little girls and due to like her being a lot taller than Frieren, she asked for Frieren to if she could pat her head. Frieren says that she's like a lot older, so that she can do that. Then Methode pulls out a spell book and Frieren says that she could pat her all she wants. So she does. Then she hugs Frieren, and Fergus just tries to pull Frieren off, and Frieren's like, "You're gonna pull me half." So then the fight starts. So you see like like so Frieren, Fern, and Batho fight the demons. So it was interesting. So then Revolt attacks Stark and Ganal. So it looks like you have two fights, and that's part of Revolt's plan. He wanted like the parties to like split up. So yeah, I thought it was a good episode. Like how they're setting up the demons, getting these fights going on. Dude, the freaking head pat scene was so funny. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty good episode. Looking forward to the next one. War Machine. So this is a new movie that premiered on Netflix today. So like a lot of the soldiers in this aren't given names for it. So in this one, so you have a staff sergeant, is in Afghanistan. He arrives to help like his brother, with the fix his convoy. Basically, his convoy broke down. Basically, his brother tries to tell him that they should apply to become rangers. They've been apparently dreaming about it for a while, but haven't been able to do it. And so he agrees. Staff sergeant agrees to do it. Now, shortly after, the Taliban attacks, and everyone's killed except the staff sergeant whose knee is injured. Now, Sergeant tries to carry his brother's balloon back to base, but he passes out before making it. He wakes up in the hospital and learns that his brother is dead, but he's given a silver star. Now, 2 years later, the staff sergeant attends RASP, the Ranger Assessment and Selection Program, in order to try to join the 75th Ranger Regiment. It's a real life regiment. It's the one at Fort Benning, Georgia. And yeah, obviously it's one of the most used units. Very effective. I mean, it's the Rangers. They're very effective. They don't dick around. And so Sergeant, he's going to camp number 81, and basically that's kind of what he's known as throughout this movie. So basically, 81 is like the best soldier in training, but he hasn't really bombed the other recruits. And like even despite his very good record, he refuses to be a team leader. Now he allows himself to nearly drown during an all-war exercise. Now the regiment leaders, Sergeant Major Sheridan and First Sergeant Torres, they're concerned about how his mind is. They think he has some PTSD from the Taliban attack in Afghanistan. And, they suggest that the 81 step down from the program in order to recuperate. 81 says no, he wants to cross the finish line. Sheridan and Torres allowed to advance, but they assign him team leader for the final exercise. Basically, it's like since he's you know if he's a ranger, he's gonna have to lead stuff, so he should get used to it. So the final exercise is a simulated mission of force to destroy a classified aircraft and rescue the pilot. Now, while a lot of trains go on, there are reports of different stuff falling from space to Earth, and that's like foreshadowing for what's going to happen. So during the exercise, there's like a big blast in the sky. Communications knocked out. So basically, so 81's team finds an object near a creek. They think it's the aircraft, and they detonate with explosives, but it's undamaged and it transforms to a machine that walks around and starts killing members of the team, and they're unable to fight back because they're carrying blanks. And Seven, who's like the second command, is injured, and so everyone else tries to carry him. So basically, they're trying to try to fight, but so the machine basically it screws up the magnetism of the compasses. So now, even though it's probably makes it hard for him to get directions there, but the compass allow to give an idea that it's nearby whenever, because basically when they see the compass is affected, they're able to know it's nearby. And then yeah, and so they're able to deduce that the machine came from outer space. So they try and make it back to the base in a APC or armored personal carrier. So they're chased and they find some real ammunition, but ammo can't penetrate the armor. And so 81 uses a rock slide to subdue it. Now the APC is destroyed and basically everyone dies except for 81 and 7. And the machine sends up a signal to space. A1 takes 7 to a force. 7 tells A1 that he knew his brother. And yeah, so and then 81 see basically there's like a ventilation system in the machine, which allows them to figure out where the weak point is. Basically, A1 was an engineer, so he knew like how machines worked. And so A1 lures her to a construction site and he pours rocks in the ventilation system, and the machine overheats and explodes. So A1 takes 7 back to base. Sheridan and Torres tell A1 that the asteroid that had fallen was an army of machines, and basically there have been attacks all over the planet. 81 reveals like what the weakness of the machines are, so he's accepted to the Rangers. He's accepted to the regiment, and he's assigned to lead an attack on the machines. So that where if there's a sequel, basically be about I guess him leading an attack on the machines. So yeah, I thought this was pretty freaking good. Alan Richson does a very good job. Dennis Quaid's good. Stephen James. Esai Morales. Like, dude, all the actors do a freaking good job. I mean, it's like a standard military movie. Guy trying to join the Rangers, and then like, they fight aliens. They fight an alien robot, and it's pretty good. Like, I don't know if this is gonna be one that's like it. This is one that if it released in theaters, I think it would do decently well. Like with good marketing. It was released in theaters in Australia, but it wasn't. To my knowledge, it was not released in theaters in the United States. And it made like 29,000, 156 at the time recording this in Australia. The fact that they didn't release the U.S. in theaters is retarded. I mean, come on. But of course, that's just Netflix with they don't do theatrical releases. I think this would have been a good one to release. Good. I don't know how high the budget is. I don't think it was too high, but like, just give me a good one to release in theaters. Get some more eyes on it. 'Cause I don't know how many people knew that this was coming. I knew about it because I saw a trailer for it and it looked interesting. Yeah, I thought it was good. So yeah, I thought it was a good movie. Recommend watching it. Well, and that's it. Did y'all like the stuff I reviewed? And if you have your own opinions about all that, you can put all that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and all that. And look forward to the next video.